Good evening, Pittsburgh sports fans, and welcome to the Pittsburgh Sports Desk. Joining me are my co-hosts, Mac and Tracy. What's going on tonight, gentlemen?
Good evening, fellas.
Hi,
How
Mac.
we doing?
Hi, Billy.
Hey, Trace. How we doing?
Fine as frogs there, boys.
That's great.
That is a very fine thing there, Mac.
It is.
All right. So got some stuff to hash out tonight. Talk Steelers Ravens. We want to get into that. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff swirling around about that controversy and whatnot. Look ahead to the Dolphins. It's supposed to be cold, guys. I think they said by kickoff it could be in the low teens. I think they said.
I heard 11.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
I heard 11. I mean,
yeah. So
free tickets. I'll pass.
And then I wanted to get into this. There's a lot of talk. I don't know, some of these national media guys talking about could the Steelers make a run in December? I mean, we'll see. I mean, one game at a time, but we'll get into that a little bit. I also want to talk about the Penguins. Brutal loss last night. 0.1 seconds. I mean, and then you go to the shootout, and you're 0-5 in shootouts this year. I mean, it's just they're just I don't know. They can't get it together. Long gone are the days when they were really automatic in shootouts. You remember those days when they had you remember Eric Christensen? I remember he was always automatic on those shootouts. And I mean, that was going back. That's going back like 16, 17 years. But, for a while there, they were pretty good at shootouts. Even last year, they weren't too bad. This year, not so much. They got some issues with that. So I want to get into that. Also, I want to talk this Pitt football playing in the Military Bowl. I want to get your thoughts on that. What do you guys think about that? I don't know. I mean, would have liked to see them in the Pinstripe Bowl. I think somebody probably had something to say about that. But we'll get into that. Also, Pitt basketball, another terrible loss. How do you lose to freaking Hofstra? I mean, just unbelievable. And the Pirates in the draft lottery picked number 5. Want to touch on that briefly. And Penn State has a new head coach. How about that? Matt Campbell introduced. Terry Smith being kept on. So we'll get into that. But without further ado, gentlemen, let's get into the Steelers-Ravens win. And I want to get your take on what you thought. I mean, was it a catch? I mean, was it a touchdown? I mean, how many, so many people so many people are throwing their expertise on whether it was a touchdown or whether it wasn't. I got to be honest with you, and I'm a homer, but I thought it was a touchdown. I don't. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Trace.
I think the rules are too vague still, even though they seem to increase the amount of verbiage and rules associated with this to you got to make the catch, one foot, the other foot, and then you got to make a football move or something, right? Except what happens when they're on the sidelines. They literally just have to catch the ball, maintain control, and it's one foot, the other foot. So why is it different when you're in the end zone? I'm pretty sure as soon as that second foot comes down and they have control, they should probably call that a touchdown. That's just what I think from a rule standpoint. As far as how they called it, whatnot, whatever, it is what it is, man. I maybe they got it right, maybe they got it wrong. What do you think, Mac?
Well, I don't think there's any question that that's a catch. I mean, I played catch in the backyard when I was a kid for years, and I go back and look at it as a basic, basic sport activity. You catch the football. The guy clearly caught the ball.
Well, he took 2 steps. I mean,
well, I don't even think he took 2 steps, Bill. I think he landed.
You think he floated?
Well, I'm saying he jumped, caught the ball, kind of, and landed with 2 feet down. I look at that.
Well, he did. If you look at it, he did take 1, 2.
Yeah. I've seen the 2 feet come down. I'm not saying that 2 wasn't.
Right.
But my point is that I look at that entire play similar to when a running back or a quarterback or anybody breaks the plane of the goal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As soon as that happens, they declare that a touchdown. This whole thing about a 3rd step, I never heard you have to have 3 steps. And what kind of football move do you do when you catch the ball in the end zone?
In the end zone.
Well,
that's what. That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I said, it's different in midfield, right? You make a catch in midfield. A football move to me would be tucking it and maybe, I don't know, juking or turning upfield. That would be a football move to me. But when you're in the end zone, what are you supposed to do? Run to the pylon. Maybe dance, run to the freaking pylon and dive.
I don't know.
I was funny because I write for the Riverhounds and we had our dinner that night, and one of the guys from the Post-Gazette said, "Oh, well, if he would have, the football move would be tucking it away." And I said, "Well, maybe that is what they deemed as a football move." But I mean, hey, listen, am I happy of the outcome? Yes, absolutely. But in all fairness, I thought it was a touchdown. What do you people out there think? I want to hear some comments. What do you guys think? What did you see? Did you think it was a touchdown? Did you not think it was a touchdown?
I mean, how crazy is it? It's this ambiguous, right? Like, this is what happens when corporate and lawyers get involved, right?
Yeah, that's right, Trace. Well, and this is what happens when you don't have full-time officials, and you have these guys who they don't do this enough. They don't. I mean, listen. I think that there's a lot of issues with officiating. I think that there's a lot of things missed. I mean, they were talking today. I was watching Pro Football Talk, and they were talking about the amount of times that Michael Parsons was held on that game on Sunday. And they were showing multiple, and it was done right in front of the official. So, they are missing a lot out there. They are, there's just a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of gray areas. And I think if you had full-time officials, I think it would be a lot better. And I've said this before, not just having full-time officials, but having officials that are younger and can keep up with the speed of the game. Because I really think that that's an issue as well.
I don't disagree with you, Bill, but when there's the definition's not defined, I don't care if you've been doing it 30 years or you've been doing it 30 minutes.
Yeah,
exactly.
I go back and I look. If you guys remember that Dallas Cowboy Green Bay Packer game, and it was a playoff game, and they called that not a catch. I thought.
Well, how about Jesse James? How about Jesse James years ago?
Yeah, there's a million of them, but a regular season game's one thing. But when they messed that playoff game up with Green Bay and Dallas, I thought this is going to be it. That was a decade ago.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It is.
It's still happening today. Mind you, we're the beneficiary, so voila.
Right,
but
right.
Again, if that's the Ravens scoring, this is a different show.
Yeah, I agree. It's Steelers held off that late comeback attempt by the Ravens. I really thought that the game was the outcome was really hinged on a few key plays. That being one of them, really. You had that game-ending sack by Alex Highsmith on Lamar Jackson. What about Aaron Rodgers, guys? What do you think, Aaron Rodgers? I mean, he had a standout game, in my opinion. He 284 yards, one passing and one rushing touchdown. How about the old guy, 42 years old, getting it done?
Got some spring in the step, did he not?
He did. He
ran one in. They looked really good, springy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they came out of the gate swinging. I mean, he ripped the ball down the sideline, and it was on the money.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, and I said that. I said, we did our pregame show at North Park Lounge, and I mentioned it to a bunch of I mentioned it to Coach Todd Haley, and I mentioned it to Jerry DePaula. I said, they haven't had a pass over 20 yards since Week 8 against the Packers. They've got to open this offense up. They've got to come out throwing the football. And how about the first play or first drive? You hit DK Metcalf for that deep pass on an out route, and that was just
the week before Roman Wilson completely messed that route up. He was trying to get down that seam the same way, and he's supposed to bend it to the outside, and he never bent it to the outside nor adjusted to the ball whatsoever. And Aaron looked at him like, "What are you doing?"
Yep, I remember that. But DK Metcalf had a very productive game, I thought. 7 receptions for 148 yards. It was good. It was good. I thought. So what else? What else did you see turning point? How about James Pierre interception? I mean, that guy, another guy who I think has just been. That guy just makes plays after plays, week after week. James Pierre. He's been.
You know why Lamar was laughing right after he threw it?
No,
that's his relative. James Pierre's his relative.
It's his cousin. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
So you'll see a smirk on Lamar's face. It's uncanny, and you're like, "What's he doing?" It's like, "Oh my goodness, that's right. That's his cousin. His cousin picked him off."
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Gonna leave it down.
Yeah, but I mean, that interception, in the second quarter led to the Steelers, scoring that touchdown, giving them they had a 17-3 lead.
I thought it was huge. I think that's the biggest play of the game, Bill.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was, I thought, like I said, it had Isaiah Likely, had that been rolled a touchdown, the outcome would have been different. But, I don't know if it would have been different. I probably would have been different. I don't know that they would have been able to go.
It's hard to say. I mean, they were playing decent on the other side of the ball. I mean, they could have came down at least. I assumed that, they would have went for 2. You know what I mean? If they score that, right? So, they would have been up 3 or up 1, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going into this game, I said it in the pregame. Obviously there's something wrong with Lamar Jackson. I mean, he was battling that ankle injury the week prior. I know he was limited in practice. He's been also dealing with a hamstring injury all season. And I was telling Coach Haley, I was saying, it's been a plethora of things with him. There's been a toe, he's had the ankle, he's had the hamstring. There's been a lot of things going on with him, and that he's hampered by injuries because going into the season he was averaging 63 yards a game rushing. We all know he was a running quarterback, and he's now at 29 yards rushing. So you average,
I didn't think he looked that bad though, Bill. I mean, I know he's probably milking something, but I don't want to chalk this win up to a crippled or handicapped Lamar Jackson. I thought he moved pretty well. I mean, I was surprised, but I agree with you. He does look a little off. Whether that's injury or not, who knows?
Right.
But he was on the injury report. So
Thanksgiving too. I noticed a lot of balls are sailing on him too. Yeah. And it seems to be
he doesn't have his plant foot.
Correct. I just was going to say that he's not getting his feet set. He doesn't have his plant foot. Yeah, I agree. Totally. You're seeing a lot of that with him.
So that interception was just an all arm thing. He's normally uses his legs, which he's stronger than hell, right? But he just all arms it, and it goes up short, and his cousin intercepts it. I mean,
yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. The Ravens still rushed for 217 yards, guys. I mean, Derrick Henry had 25 carries for 94. Mitchell was in there. He had 6 carries for 76 yards. He had that long 55-yarder.
Yeah, he broke that long.
Yeah.
So, Billy.
Lamar. I'm talking about Lamar. He did rush for 43 yards. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he looked bad, but I thought for the most part, I mean, overall, I thought the Steelers did a pretty decent job with controlling Jackson and Henry. I mean, Henry carried the ball like a million times. He didn't have 100 yards. I mean, so we kept him into the 90-yard range, and he ran the ball 25, 30 times or whatever he ran. I mean, they kept feeding him. We kept stopping him. And I mean, if it wasn't for that one breakout, from the backup, that Mitchell kid, we would have held him to, 140 yards or so. So I thought it was a pretty decent game by him, on the defensive side of the ball. I mean,
what'd you think of, Aaron Rodgers having that tip ball that come back to him and them rolling that he was down? What'd you think about that? I know Harbaugh was not happy with that. He was chirping on the sidelines. He was chirping a lot on the sidelines after that happened, but he had a lot to say in the post game presser as well. What'd you think about that?
Well, I mean, I think he had a right to yap about that and several other things. I mean, like we already covered the catch, so
right.
I mean that alone had him already wound,
right?
And so you compound that with a few other things that he didn't like, and I didn't necessarily agree with it either on either of the calls. So I think Harbaugh had every right to complain, if you will, if not go on a rampage. I mean.
It's amazing when you look at it. We need to establish some kind of running game, guys. You're not gonna be able to get away with this. You're not going to be able to get away with this week in and week out, especially with the remaining 5 games they got. You're not going to be able to rush for 34 yards as a team.
I mean, Rodgers almost had 300. Us as an offense had 300. I mean, like, I'm just saying, there's nothing there. They have nothing, Bill. You're spot on, man. It's just, it doesn't exist. It's unbelievable.
I mean, how Jalen Warren, he was number 2 in receiving in that game with 3 receptions for 49 yards. DK Metcalf, like I said, number 1 was 7 receptions, 148 yards. But I mean, God, I mean, it was just not, it's 34 yards rushing. It's not going to get not going to get a cut. No, they're not going to get it done.
I do like what they're doing, though. I have to say with Gainwell, I mean, they're getting him some catches, getting his hands on the ball. I like him. I'm starting to like him a little more. Again, I'm not saying.
How can you not? Right.
I'm not saying he did anything on the running side of the football, but I think he's a great, number 2 guy. And I don't know what's going on with Warren. I mean, I don't know.
We're saying we're not running the football that effective, and I'm not disagreeing with you with 34 yards statistically. But these little swing outs, these are just like extended handoffs to get to these running backs in space because a pitch out isn't working for us. So they're doing it, they delay it, let the linebackers fall back a little bit, hit them right out there in the swing, and they got space and time to go, and it's working. And that's where Gainwell made a lot of sausage, man. I think it's a great adjustment by them.
I love frickin' sausage. But you cannot make a living, guys, out of 12 carries from your 2 backs.
Right. Not disagreeing with that either.
12 carries, 12 between 2 guys, 1 and 2.
Yeah, 12 carries and 28 yards. 12 carries for 28 yards.
I get it. You ain't getting the yardage. You got 3 yards, but come on. You know what I mean?
That will not work if we get anywhere near the postseason. That will not work for us.
No, absolutely not. That's staggering how bad that was. That's staggering. Yeah, I mean, Kenneth Gainwell, I agree. It's 6 receptions, 27 yards. He had, he had a lot of checkdowns. Obviously, a lot of checkdowns to him. So, all right, let's switch gears a little bit and look ahead here. We've got the Miami Dolphins coming in, 6-7. Hard to believe that they've got the same record as the Chiefs right now, huh?
And the same record as the Ravens. How about that? 6-7, 6-7. Huh?
Yeah. All the kiddies.
Jeez, Mac.
Trifecta. Come on.
But I will say this. It's going to be cold. Number one, it's going to be cold. And not to say that I was talking to. We were talking in the post game show, and we were kind of going over a little bit of what the Miami Dolphins bring to the table. And I said, they were saying about how it's going to be cold, and that a lot of these warm weather teams kind of struggle sometimes in cold weather environments. I don't know that maybe in 40 years ago that was true, guys. But I know that they have those indoor facilities where they can simulate a lot of the temperature changes and things like that. They can make it freezing in there. They can do that stuff, and I know a lot of them do that. They simulate the how the weather is going to be temperature wise. Usually, I know they can't simulate. I don't think they could simulate snow and sleet or something like that down in South Florida, but they can definitely turn on the air conditioning, bring it indoors, turn on the air conditioning, and simulate the cold. What do you guys think about a warm weather team going up north? You think it's any? I mean, I don't think that holds much water these days.
Go ahead,
I don't either. I don't either. I mean, it might affect them slightly, but I don't think it's going to affect them as much as to alter the outcome of the football game. I think that if anything, it's going to be if we can't run the football, we're not going to be able to throw. If it's like too slick or something like that, or we're not getting footing, then we're going to be in a lot of trouble, and they might be able to do things we can't do. But I don't think it's going to affect them that much, just the cold per se. The precipitation could affect both teams if it snows, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
And if it rains, you never know. The last time it rained against these teams, wasn't these two teams the ones who there was a punt that stuck in the ground?
Yeah. So when you look at who the Dolphins,
I'll jump in on that. I'll jump in on that weather comment, Bill. I agree. For the most part on what you guys are saying, but this Miami Dolphins team is built on speed. Okay. And they're coming to Pittsburgh. Okay. Up north, our field stinks. They're not going to be able to be that fast on this field. That cold's going to slow them down. It's supposed to be windy. So I'm telling you, this specific game, I think it means a whole lot more than it does regular. But this game specific, it's big time. Because that team's built to just fly around the field.
Yeah. No, yeah. They're
great. Fast on turf. They'll still be fast on our guys. They're just not as fast as they are on turf.
Yeah,
So they're not going to be the greatest show on turf.
Yeah,
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I still think they're going to be fast on our guys regardless.
Yeah.
Well, they will, but they're going to be slower than they would be. If we were playing down there, I wouldn't feel so confident.
Yeah. We got Steelers Freak 1964 chiming in. That's actually the last four digits of my Social Security number. Maybe shouldn't. What's the first one? Maybe shouldn't put that over the airwaves, but I just thought that was kind of cool. Dolphins have led the league in the last 5 games, averaging 174 rushing yards per game. I assume McDaniel knows the Steelers can't stop the run. I assume they will attempt the run all night. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Yeah. So, Harmon playing is key. Yeah, I agree.
Did you see the stat that came out on that? I was reading today that when Harmon plays, teams have about 100 yards less a game when Harmon is in and functioning than when he's not playing.
Yeah, well, Steelers Freak's right. It's Harmon is my birth year. Oh, yeah. So
tell them the first 5 digits, Bill.
No, I won't. I will not do that. I only.
Okay, all right. So, and on that On that first comment, Bill, that guy's talking about the Dolphins running the football. That kid's that Akane kid's hurt too.
Devin.
He's their dog. I mean, he has 1,100 yards this year. He hurt himself. I don't think he's playing. I mean, that backup
he's
kid
questionable.
That Jalen Wright kid came up though and ran for 150 yards too. Yeah. Just to throw that out.
Right.
You know, it was the Jets, but I mean, it was against the Jets, so you know.
Yeah. I mean, if the Dolphins are on a 4-game winning streak, you know, some say they've been kind of winning in old school fashion. You know, you've been hearing that a lot. You know, national media, they're winning in old school fashion because why? Because they've had recently they've had a strong, you know, run game and a strong defense. You know, and you know, their offensive line was atrocious to start the year. And I tell you what, they've actually done a lot better. I'm pretty surprised. Yeah, I mean he's got a rib injury, a chain. They're saying that he could possibly play, but they're not sure yet. So he's
the way that backup played, I don't know why they would play him. I mean, they've got themselves back in the mix here somehow. I mean, they were dead. If we played this team a month ago, I mean, we would all be saying this is a cake game. 4 games in a row, though. You're right, Bill. They're rolling. I mean,
well, let's look at who they've beaten, though. Let's just look at that.
It's a big point. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah. So
and on what kind of turf?
Yeah. So week 6 at home, they beat the Jets 27-21. Then let's see. Week 7, week 8, week 9, 10. Okay, 11. You know, they beat the Bills 30-13 at home.
At home.
Yeah. They beat the Commanders, which are a terrible team, at home 16-13. You beat the lowly Saints 21-17 at home, and then you know they just beat the Jets at the Jets 34-10, and the Jets are terrible. So I mean, you know they've beaten terrible teams. This is what that
would also give us an indicator on the weather.
Yeah, I mean they played the Jets. I think it was in the high. I think it was in the low 40s. And may have dropped to the high 30s. I think
not exactly 10, right, Mac?
No, not exactly. Exactly.
On the river,
right? With that wind blowing, I know. Don't forget the water.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be, and who knows? We could have precipitation of the white kind coming down. You don't know. You remember that year? What was it? 2013 when they had that. They played that game against Dolphins in the snow at Heinz Field, and you remember that was the one where the Steelers were almost won it at the last second, but Antonio Brown stepped out of bounds.
He did.
Yeah, you remember that? That was.
I do remember that.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
I did.
You know, the Steelers, like I said, sit at 77-6. They're dealing with injuries as well. You know, you got guys on concussion protocol. There's, you know, I think at this point in time, you need to build consistency after this big win over the Ravens. You gotta continue. You kind of unlock the deep passing game. This last game against the Ravens, you need to continue that. And I think, like I said, I think that they, if they can, put pressure on Tua, and take away that running game of the Dolphins, and win the battle in the trenches, and I think you'll be good. So,
well, they're definitely going to need 99 and 50 if they want to do that, because those are our run stoppers, and without those two, which both of them are kind of hurting and coming back, we're going to have a hard time and a very long day.
Yeah, they have 3 more average running backs. I would feel better if they were out of the playoff hunt. Yeah.
Well, one of them's hurt though.
Yeah.
So that makes 2.
Right.
And between the two of them, they have 300 yards apiece. total for the year. So they're backups.
Yeah. I mean, I like I said, I think I think that the Steelers, this is a winnable game for them for sure.
Oh, it's definitely a winnable game. I mean, we'll get to that later, but yeah.
Definitely. Well, hell, let's go ahead and pick it right now. Go ahead, Trace. You start us off.
Oh wow. Geez. And 10 degrees. 21-17 Steelers.
Mac.
I'm gonna go 24-20 Steelers.
Okay. I'm gonna go 30-17 Steelers.
Wow, 30 points.
Yeah.
A lot of points. That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
Well, they were throwing the long ball and the Chicks dig them. I like it, Bill. Go.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Chicks dig the long ball. That's true. in multiple different sports, right?
Oh, well, yeah.
All right, let's talk about some of these national media and some local media too are talking. Can the Steelers make a December run here? You're off to a good start beating the Ravens. Although a win's a win. It wasn't pretty. Like I said, the whole Isaiah Likely thing could have really changed things. But can they make this December run? As of right now, as of December 10th today, the Steelers lead the AFC North Division with a 7-6 record. And I would say they pretty much control their own destiny right now for a division title. You just got to keep winning. You got to, as Mike Tomlin says, stack the wins. You were able to get a crucial Week 14 win against the Ravens. And your playoff probability increased by winning. They're sitting, I think, at a 66% chance is what they said right now. So that's good. December ball, guys, is different than it's a different animal, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
And I think looking at what you've got remaining, the Dolphins, I think is, like I said before, I think it's a winnable game. Week 16, you're at the Lions.
That's a tough one.
That's going to be a tough one. One because the Lions are, the Lions are fighting for, they're trying. They're 8-5, and that's a good division. That's a very good division.
They're going to struggle to get in, so it's going to be a dogfight there.
Correct.
The Lions will be using their claws, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, and then Week 17, you're at the Browns.
And they would love to. Myles Garrett kicks it into a whole nother – he kicks it into 8th gear when he plays us. There's some hatred there, and good Lord.
Well, yeah. And I think that, hey, Browns are sitting at 3-10. Shedeur Sanders had a good game, but that was one game, okay? I need to see more out of him. They did name him, I know, the starter for the remainder of the year, which I thought was which I actually brought that up on our pregame show because we kind of went around. I said, what if, because Deshaun Watson's in his window right now, his 21-day window to practice. I said, what would be the chances of them playing Deshaun Watson a couple games just to see what they got? And as the news broke on Monday, that's not going to happen. That Shedeur's the guy for the remainder of the season. Yeah. We'll see. But I think that's obviously a winnable game at Cleveland. But that could be a dogfight too as well. We all know what happened last year in the snow against Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Jameis Winston carved that defense up, and it was a shocker on a Thursday night game.
And carved the snow angel too.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah.
And then Week 18, you got the Ravens again, which is going to be another big one. I mean, that's going to be, they're going to look for revenge. You're at home, but they're going to come up here and they're going to look for revenge. And, that's going to be another dogfight.
Yeah.
But I think that, listen, they control their own destiny. I mean, you've just got to keep winning. You got to keep doing what you're doing. You've got to establish a run game. I know that much. You cannot have
And you
34
got to stop
yards.
the run too, just as important.
Yeah, but you definitely can't have 34 yards.
I think three of those games they should win. They should go. They should beat the Ravens. They just beat them. They should beat the Browns. And I think we all agreed that they're going to beat the Dolphins this week. That Detroit game is going to be a tough game. Right now, as we said, I think they go 3-1. That's just my own opinion, but I don't know where you guys are at. I see 3-1 right now. It wouldn't shock me if they lost all four, gentlemen, but that's what I'm thinking right now as we speak.
I think it'll depend on Lamar, Mac. Lamar is never healthy at the end of the season, but what happens if all his faculties come back for that last game? I don't think we could stop him if he's actually on his P's and Q's, but that won't happen. So I completely agree with you.
Yeah, I could see them going to Detroit and losing. I could see them beating Miami Monday night. I could see them beating the Browns on week 17. That's a winnable game. It's also a losable game. I mean, when you look at it, and then the Ravens as well. That's a winnable, losable game. It's just
I wouldn't be shocked if they win. If they went 4-0, I wouldn't be blown away. If they went 0-4, I wouldn't be blown away.
Yeah, because I mean, let's face it. This team it's been like a roller coaster, right? It's been up and down. Week in and week out, you don't know what team's going to show up. You don't.
Well, like a pea trap, Bill, under a toilet. You know what I mean? It's kind of going like a pea trap. They go up and down too, right?
Yeah.
It hasn't been fun.
Trace.
Yeah. But I think, the most
throwing some Pittsburgh dad at us here, Bill.
Yeah. The most likely direct path, I think, to the playoffs is just, we're all military guys, right? 50-meter targets. Win your freaking division. Win the AFC North, and everything else will take care of itself. In order.
Well, they lost too many games. It's the only way they can do it now.
Right.
Well, I mean, let's they could get two teams in. You know what I mean? The way that people are tripping all over the place now. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of middle of the packs now.
Well, I look at it.
Indy fell down.
Yeah.
Kansas City. I mean, all these teams are 6-7 and 7-6.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I look at it like this: wild card chances, I think, are less likely. I think because you got a lot of this wild card field right now is competitive. I mean, you've got a lot of decent teams. Yeah, you got a lot of decent teams that are also fighting for those spots. And I just think you got to win the division. You've got to win this division. This division couldn't be easier to win than it is this year, and you got to take advantage of that. Yeah, you got to take advantage of that. You win the division, and you're good. You don't have to worry about the wild card field and you don't have to worry about that. You win the division, and everything else will take care of itself. I'm a little bit concerned. Aaron Rodgers. I'm just hoping this wrist is, he looked good against the Ravens, 284 yards, but I'm hoping that he doesn't take any unnecessary hits and re-injure that, or I think we could be in trouble with that. I think right now he's his consistent play last week. I think you're going to need that in these upcoming games. So.
Curveball, if I can. Did this week's game with Aaron Rodgers, the way he played, did it make you guys think that we were able to win a playoff game if we do
Not
get
yet.
in?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm just asking.
And I'll tell you why. Two things that jump out to me on that one, Mac. A, the run defense, and A, the running game, and the B, the running game.
Yeah, I can't agree more. Those 2 points alone, no way.
You gave up 217 yards. Yeah, you gave up 217 yards. You rushed for 34. That's not going to get it done in the playoffs. You'll get smoked. So
enough said.
Yeah. You will get smoked. So, all right, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's close out the football segment with we're going to be talking Pitt football, but let's talk NFL headlines. Let's talk what everybody's talking about. We've got to talk about it because it's just insane. Never would have thought it would happen, but Phillip Rivers is returning. He's on the practice squad, 44 years old, just turned 44, by the way, a few days ago.
So he's a spry 44.
He's a spry 44. Yeah. He's an early 44-year-old. But yeah, just sign with the practice squad. Daniel Jones out with the Achilles injury. Unclear whether he's going to start this weekend. I was listening to Jim and Pat moving the chains on Sirius XM, and they think he's going to start. Because why would you? What's that guy Brosner that they have? That's the quarterback that they have that's available right now. And they're going to you're going to Seattle, the 12th man, right? That's a tough place to play. Seattle's playing pretty good, and I would start him because hey, you throw Brosner in there. I mean that could be that could spell disaster. At least you have a guy who's a seasoned vet, then come in there and I said it last night. I said it. We were talking. We were at work, Mac. We were at work down at the arena. I was talking to some of the guys down there. And I said it. I said, when you look at a guy like Phillip Rivers, you had Vinny Testaverde who started a game at 44. You had Steve DeBerg as well that started a game at 44. I believe Ben Roethlisberger could probably come back and give you 4 or 5 games and play pretty well. But those type of quarterbacks, if you have a good offensive line. And, if Phillip Rivers has protection, right, he can't take any unnecessary hits. If he has protection, that guy can read defenses. He knows the offense. Steichen and him, they were together with the Chargers. He, from what I understand, the offense that the Colts run is pretty much the offense that he coaches in high school. And actually, from what I heard, those two talk on a weekly basis offense. And they've been, communicating on a weekly basis. All you need to Phillip Rivers to do, A, you need him to manage the game. B, you need him to be able to know the offense, which he does. And C, you got to just have him be able to read the defenses.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? What do you got? What's your reaction to Phillip Rivers coming back? And the people listening out there, the viewers. What's your reaction? I want to hear it.
Well, I'll throw it out. First and foremost, I'd like to throw a shout out to Danny Dimes. I feel bad for that kid on his rebound. Okay, that's first and foremost. The kid was playing great, and he had a shot for a whole lot of redemption from that Giants debacle. But getting back to this guy, and by the way, if Ben's listening, he's got a better shot at a wing eating contest than coming and playing 5 games. Sorry, Ben, but I tune in sometimes to your podcast. But I'll say this: Phillip Rivers, okay, can still manage a football game. He's still got his brain, okay, and that's a very good football team. So all he's got to do is hand the ball off half the time.
Jonathan Taylor, right?
And manage a football game. Right. Phillip Rivers knows how to manage a football game. So is it impossible for this team to rebound and make the playoffs? No, I think it's doable.
Well, he did finish his career with the Colts in 2020, by the way, in the COVID year. He retired. I mean, so it's been 5 years. It's funny. They were talking today on the Dan Patrick Show. There was a quarterback in the 70s and 80s. I forget his name, but he played for the Buccaneers. I forget who it was, but he had started a game in 81, and they said he was out of the league for he was in the league for a while, but then he was out of the league, and his next start was in 1987. So it has happened before in the league where he knows defenses, right? Phillip Rivers probably hasn't seen a defense. He's probably seen every defense known under the sun, right? Yeah. And he knows the offense. I think he's your best bet right now. I think he's your best bet. And then there's some talk about Phillip Rivers, and there was some talk about him in if he plays, his clock's gonna restart for the Hall of Fame. I think that might hurt him a little bit if you want to know because I don't know what you guys think about. He was an 8-time Pro Bowler, but he didn't have a good record. I think he had like a 4-7 or 4-6
in the playoffs.
In the playoffs. And so I don't know. That might hinder him.
Well, if he fails, yeah. But, let's say he, somehow gets his team into the playoffs and maybe they win a game or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happens if he finds that gear where he's like the Trent Dilfer and just manages the game like we're talking about instead of winning it and trying, Paul Malo ain't there anymore, so can't be picked off.
Let's not even go that far. Let's say he comes out and he looks like Joe Flacco did when Flacco came back the first,
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good too, Trace, right? I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
I tell you, I remember when Vinny started at 44, and he was efficient.
Yeah,
he moved the football down the field, and even Doug Flutie. Remember his final year when he played for the Chargers?
Yep.
It was he came in for Breeze. Breeze got hurt that one year. I think it was 2003, and he was like 42, 43, and he even they went on a run. It's happened before. Steve DeBerg.
It has, but Phillip Rivers has a better pedigree. He has a better resume resume than any of these other guys we're talking about. Phillip Rivers is a legitimate quarterback and should be in the Hall of Fame. He should.
No, I think he should be too.
Yeah,
I think he should be.
There's no question.
I mean,
people don't like him. Just keep him away from the phone. You know what I mean? He can't suffer a neck injury like that.
Yeah. I look at it like this, when he was playing, I would say he was probably mostly in the top 5 of quarterbacks in the league at that point. Maybe some years he was in the top 5 to 7, but I mean he was up there. I mean he
was in the top 10 every year he played almost.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And an 8-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah, that's a guy that should be in the Hall of Fame.
I think
if I had a vote, I'd cast it now.
Yeah, I think his blemish is his playoff record wasn't so great, but
How many Super Bowls did he have? None, right?
None.
How many Danny Marino have? None.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
None.
Yeah. Let's switch gears. Let's talk a little Penguins here. Then I want to get to Pitt football, Pitt basketball, and then we'll close with a little bit of Pirate news in Penn State. So, bad loss last night. Mac, you and I work at the arena. We were down there last night. 0.1 seconds left. You go into overtime. You go into a shootout. You don't get it done in the shootout. You're 0-5 now in the shootout this year. You've got some injuries. Evgeny Malkin's out with he's been placed on the IR with an upper body injury. He's now considered week to week. Just a heartbreaking loss last night. I mean, I just you give up that game time own goal with just 0.1 seconds left in the third period.
It's tragic. For a young team, and I say young team, mind you, I'm speaking of the spry that they have. That can hurt those guys. A loss like this. I mean, that's a big one.
Well, we said it before.
They're going to have to win tomorrow.
Yeah, you got the Canadians coming in, and
I was thinking of the Habs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I tell you, shootouts. They need to do something about these shootouts. 0-5, that's bad. I mean that's not acceptable. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I was going to say, Bill, and our star is part of the problem.
Yeah.
Okay,
I agree.
Crosby is not good in the shootout right now. That same shot, I hate to say it, it's tired. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just tired. He needs to go to the backhand or something.
I know.
He does,
he's
Bill.
done that. He's done that for so long, and teams now expect that from him. And they know. They know, hey, if we get into a shootout, they know that he's going to use that. They know that, they've seen enough.
Here's a wild thing. Let him do the backhand. Okay. He has the best backhand in the game,
Well, by far.
Why not use it? I mean,
it's that flat and sticky.
Montreal coming in. They're coming in 15-11-3. Penguins now sitting at 14-7-7. I mean, you've got to make hay while the sun's shining. And then I tell you what, you got a full slate. You've got the Sharks coming in. They're 14-14-3 on Saturday. You got back-to-backs. You got the Mammoth coming in. They're 14-14-3. So you're facing a team in the Canadians tomorrow night at 15-11-3. The Sharks at 14-14-3, and the Mammoth at 14-14-3. All in a span of what? 4 days? You've got 3 games in 4 days here. So
96 hours, and you got 4 games.
Yeah.
Yep. Hammers too.
What would you like to see them go in these next 3 games? I say
they have to win 2 of them, or they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yes.
I say, you got to go 2-1. That's what I said. You got to go 2-1.
Have to.
Yeah, you've got to go 2.
You just gotta.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I'm working that game on Sunday. It'll be interesting to see the Mammoth. I haven't seen a game yet this year that they played. They have cool jerseys? I don't even know. What's their?
I haven't watched them once.
Yeah. So, and then next Tuesday we got the Oilers coming in. After that, they're sitting at 13-11-6, and then you've got they're going on the road next Thursday to the Senators, which are 14-7-7. A lot of even teams that we're facing in the next coming 5 games here. Yeah. A lot of even teams.
It'll be very interesting, isn't it?
Very, very.
By the way, the goalie play is getting better with your boy Jari. I mean, I think he's the number 1 goalie again.
Yeah.
Well, his save average is the best.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's established himself again as the number 1 guy.
But with that average up, I think that's why they were talking about trading him recently. The rumors are coming around is because he had a little bit of value to get rid of him.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think you could do it now, though.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about Crosby. He's 1 for 4 in scoring and shootouts. So, he's.
Yeah, I mean, he's awesome, but
yeah,
I don't know how you talk. Do you talk to him offline and say, "Hey, can you just say you either do something different or pull yourself out of the damn shootout?"
Yeah,
do some of that superstar stuff.
Another thing too, they had a golden opportunity They had a golden opportunity in overtime. That shot hit the post.
Yeah,
they did.
So
it's a game of inches.
It is, and the inches are all around us.
Oh,
that actually was on tonight. That's what I was. I just watched that before coming on the air. So good movie. Let's talk Pitt football. Going to face East Carolina in the Military Bowl. What do you think? Were you happy to see them in the Military Bowl?
I mean, does it matter? You could call it the Fruit Loop cereal bowl. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're getting a bowl game, with the trend nowadays, no one wanting to go. I think it's great for the kids. I mean, they had an okay season, so they're going to go to an okay bowl.
Yeah. East Carolina finished with an 8-4 record. Listen,
they're both 8-4 teams.
We talked about this last week. Pitt exceeded my expectations for the year. Okay, they did.
Except for West Virginia.
Except for West Virginia in Louisville too, Trace. You could
I don't even care about that one. The backyard brawl we had to get.
Yeah, well, the backyard brawl was a And I know Mac is he's smiling because he writes that check to West Virginia University. So of course he's going to be, he's going to be a little bit, that's a little bit of a sore spot.
Worth every penny.
Hey, she's doing a hell of a job down there too, from what you tell me. So, but no, I agree, Trace. That was a winnable game. You screwed that game up, and I know you don't care about Louisville, but Louisville was right in your grasp too, and you let that go too.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that, Bill. I'm just saying West Virginia's a terrible team. We should have beat them hand and foot. We let them hover around, and they found a way to win it.
Agreed. And I said it before. You should be sitting at 10-2 right now. You really should be.
10-2 is a reach, I think, but they could have. But if you told me at the beginning of the season they had 8 wins, I would have said that's pretty good.
And I hate to sound like a broken.
Elated with this. Yeah. It's a great outcome.
Yeah.
Except for one game.
And I hate to sound like a broken record, but like in that Louisville game, and I know I'm harping on this, but there was bad calls in the first half, and Narduzzi, he let his emotions get the best of him, and it came in the way of him coaching and game planning for the rest of that game. And there was bad decisions made, and they lost as an example. He needs to get a grip on that. He needs to not let his emotions get in the way of coaching and game planning, in my opinion. But enough said about that. Yeah. Like I said, I'm glad they're in a bowl game this year. Didn't have one last year. I'm glad they're in a bowl game. So
yeah, it's great for the kids, man. Great for them.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, I Mason Heinschel, I like this kid. He's the real deal. Happy to see him succeed this year, and I think he should be your guy going forward. But hopefully he stays. Hopefully he doesn't decide to go in the transfer portal. Let's switch over to the hardwood. This Pitt basketball team, guys, just cannot maintain any type of momentum at all. Show flashes of brilliance. You beat Ohio State, but then you have just baffling losses. You lose to freaking Central Florida, Quinnipiac, and Hofstra. I just don't understand. It's just I don't get this team at all. Jeff Capel has just – I've defended him for years. In recent years, I haven't because I just think that it's just – he's been more of the problem. He's been more of a liability than an asset, But I look at it like this: they have a lack of score. They have a lack of they don't have a scoring punch on this team. You know what I'm saying? They just don't have it.
Well, no, they don't. They don't at all. And from a guy like Capel that knows the guard, he knows what a guard's supposed to do. I don't understand how this team doesn't have. They don't even gather assists at all. Yeah. Nobody has an assist in the game. I mean, they all make their own shot, and none of them are good.
Well, it's another glaring weakness. In the games that I've watched and listened to, these opponents that they face, they get way too many open 3-pointers, and I really think that. And also that they dominate a lot of these opponents dominate in the key, and I what I attributed that to? Lack of size and physicality. They don't have it. They don't have big men on that team, and they're not physical enough.
I've said it week after week. That Corin kid is a player. Yeah. He's their guy. He rebounds. He scores. Then outside of that, you got 2 guards that average less than 3 assists a game, okay? And you don't have anybody besides Corin ripping boards down regularly. So what are you going to get? Nobody's dishing the ball to a free look. They're not getting free looks. All the shots they take are contested. I don't understand.
Well, and to me, the red flags have been raised for me. And they've been raised in losing these home games to these mid-major teams like Quinnipiac and Hofstra. That's just a major red flag. When you lose, like I said, these mid-major teams, Quinnipiac, Hofstra, big red flag for me. Raises questions about the team's competitiveness and just, And I tell you what, you're gonna get to the ACC schedule here soon. I hate to say it, but I think they're going to get their ass handed to them in a lot of these games.
Well, they're in the basement already. You know what I mean? Right out of the gate. You know what I mean? They're in the basement for the, you know, what are they, 5-6 or 5 and what is their record now anyway?
Let me look at hold on here.
I think
they're
Well, it's not good. We could tell you that.
Yeah.
Here.
I don't even think they're 500. I mean, I think
they're definitely not 500. Here, let me just. I was just on it here. Hold on.
But I mean, you know,
yeah.
When you're losing to teams that I can't even pronounce, it's not good for the show either.
But it's so much fun to listen to Billy pronounce it.
He tries. At least he gives an effort. Good job, Bill.
They're 5 and they're 5 and 5. They're 500.
Oh, sorry. Like, you know.
Yeah. So,
Rant concluded.
Jeff Capel just stuck a feather in his head. You know?
Right.
You haven't gotten to your ACC.
Mediocrity is a staple around here.
You haven't got to your ACC schedules yet. I mean, look at some of these teams in the ACC. Duke, Duke right now, 10-0, right?
Yeah.
Cal's 9-1, SMU 9-1, Virginia's 9-1, Louisville's 8-1, North Carolina's 8-1, Miami's 8-2, Virginia Tech's 8-2, Stanford's 7-2. No, Clemson 7-3, Wake Forest 7-3, NC State 6-3, Syracuse 5-3, Georgia Tech 6-4, and then you got Florida State 5-4, Boston College 5-5, and us at 5-5. It's you've got some. Like I said, they're going to get their ass handed to them. I think.
Yeah, you can see where the NIL money is in that.
Oh, absolutely.
Just read.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're going to need a few boxes of Red X to get through that division. I'm telling you.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was for you.
Watch that Beaver
County
right?
shout out.
That's right.
But no, it's they're in trouble. They're in trouble. They're in definite trouble. And like I said, how I know that is losing at home to Quinnipiac and freaking Hofstra. All right, Pirates. You know what? This is just unbelievable. About they make a bid for Kyle Schwarber. It's way under. It's just way under. I tell you what a joke of a team. You did sign Gregory Soto. They're saying this is a major bullpen piece. 1 year deal with the veteran. I don't know. I mean, I don't. Another 1 year guy coming in and being a part of your bullpen. It doesn't do anything for me. They ended up in the lottery. They ended up getting the 5th pick in the lottery. It was funny because I forget he was. They had some ex-MLB guy who was on, and he was talking about the Pirates' bid for Kyle Schwarber, and he said it was so low-balled, it's laughable. And I think it really is, guys. This team, they just want to. They do these things. They know they make an offer that they know he's not going to take, right? Just to say that they made an offer, like, see, we offered it to him, but it's just they're just a joke of a team. They're just an absolute joke of a team. That's all I got to say about that. I don't know if you guys want to say anything about them or not.
Listen, Skeen said he's willing to go out and beat the drum and talk to people about coming to Pittsburgh to want to play. That's how bad it is. Like, you can't offer somebody money to come play when they get paid to play. We could have a pitcher go out and beat a drum for us. That's how bad these owners have it.
Well, who was it that there was somebody other guy available, and they asked him, "Would you go to Pittsburgh?" And he said, "Pittsburgh is on my list to be as a no trade." He said, "I would not go to Pittsburgh at all." So there you have it. That's the state of Pirate baseball.
Well, I mean, did they really offer him money that was honest, though, Bill? And
no,
by the
they
way,
didn't.
Is Kyle
That's
Schwarber,
the whole point.
I'm saying, is Kyle Schwarber worth a 5-year deal at that price? Is he worth that?
I think he is. Yeah, he still has power. He still has power, and he still. Yeah. Well,
What do you get? 25 mil or something?
Maybe 5 years is pushing it, Mac, but I would definitely give him a 3-year deal. So,
Yeah, I mean,
if
it
we
was
need
3,
that.
it might not be 5 years.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, they undercut it. They did it on purpose. They knew he was never going to accept it. This is what they do.
Well, the Phillies can do bad business, though, Bill. The Pirates can't do that.
Yeah. Right. All right. Let's talk real quick to close it out. Penn State hired Matt Campbell as their new coach. Formerly head coach of Iowa State, signed an 8-year, $78.5 million contract to become the 17th head coach in Nittany Lions history. 17 coaches. Wow. I mean, Jopa was there for a long, long time. No doubt about that. Probably was there longer than what he should have been. But brought several staff members from Iowa State, including Derek Hodger, Reed Kagi, and John Heacock, who's expected to join his staff in a yet undetermined role. They're going to retain interim head coach Terry Smith. He's been retained and extended. And Campbell actually called him the cornerstone of the program. So there you have it. A defensive coordinator, Jim Knowles, is out. He is out.
Yeah, I heard he was. I heard he did that immediately, Bill.
Yeah.
Is there something? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did hear about that. And from what I understand, is he's going to take the position as defensive coordinator at Tennessee. That's why he did that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've been eyeing him for a while.
I didn't hear if there was anything personal between them two, but that was pretty quick, Bill.
It was fast. As soon as he got hired, as soon as they said he was hiring, he was out the door. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, hi, see you later.
And they say that he's going to more than likely take that position at Tennessee. They said in the coming weeks.
Okay.
So, yeah. Also got rid of quarterbacks coach Danny O'Brien and tight ends coach Ty Howey. And apparently, guess where they're going, guys?
Go ahead.
Virginia Tech.
Oh, really?
They're going to join Franklin down in Virginia Tech. So, yeah, there you go. So they're going to have a couple late holdovers going to Virginia Tech in the coaching staff.
I think Penn State's going to regret getting rid of that guy, man. I really do.
I'm with you. I didn't see it at first, and now I'm starting to see it.
Oh my goodness! And they look pretty dumb right now. No offense to Matt Campbell. I think Matt Campbell's a pretty good coach. Okay, yeah. And if Pitt got him after they fired Narduzzi this year, okay, and they signed him in 6-8 months, I'd say that's a great hire for Pitt. But this is Penn State,
right? That's
not that they went to the third string guy, Bill. They did.
Yeah. And running backs coach Stan Drayton is reportedly going to join the Gamecocks of South Carolina as their running backs coach, I think. So yeah, there you go. I mean, Danny O'Brien and Ty Howey go in the freaking Virginia Tech.
Yeah. I mean, I like Campbell. I think he's a great coach. I really do. I mean, he was the Big 12 Coach of the Year a few times. He was real good with Iowa State.
Well, I just think he's taken over a program that was once great, right? And they've taken major steps back. And
Well, Franklin brought him back to greatness.
Correct.
I mean, he brought him back from like death.
Well, and this has been a terrible year. I mean, Drew Aller getting hurt.
I don't disagree.
This has been a terrible year for them.
Give the guy it was.
What's he think about what's he think about Campbell getting hired there, Trace? Matt Campbell.
Not too damn much.
Not too damn much.
Dog yawned. He's tired of the damn conversation too.
All right. Well, I think that about does it, guys. Anything else that I missed?
I don't know.
To close the show, I'm really looking forward to seeing what. I know, it's not a Pittsburgh thing, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what Phillip Rivers does. I think he's going to start. I really do, and I think he should start.
He should, and I'm excited. I have to admit I didn't like Phillip Rivers that much, but I got to admit I'm rooting for him too, Bill. So
I think it's crazy that they don't have a backup quarterback on their team, and it's a quarterback 44 years old.
I'm going to tell you that's kind of a little bit poor planning in that department. I agree. I agree with that. Anthony Richardson has had issues. I don't even know if this guy's going to ever take a snap for them again. But it's just hey, I'm 45 years old, right? I'm going to be 46 in July. And anytime I see a guy who's almost my age going out there and doing it, it I don't know. It gives me hope. It gives me hope.
You look at least a year or two younger than Phillip. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe here in the beard, but not here in the sides. Definitely not. But no. I mean, I'm rooting for him. I mean, it gives me hope that maybe I don't know. I'm all jacked up myself, hip surgery, and I'm pulling for him. I'm pulling for him.
Bill, you just put all your info out there, huh, brother?
I just put everything out there tonight.
Hey, this just in. Phillip Rivers, he's going to donate his whole salary to Jonathan Taylor.
Right?
I think it's great. So. All right, everybody. Hey, we'll be at North Park Lounge on Monday doing our pregame show. There's not going to be any postgame show this week. We get everything kicked off there Monday at 3:30 p.m. We're going to be starting pretty early, 3:30 p.m.
Wow.
We've got a full slate right now. We've got Mike Ostie joining us at 3:35. We've got Paul Zeiss at 4 p.m. And then we've got Coach Todd Haley joining us at 4:30. We've got Zig Fracassi at 5. Anthony Halkeas at 5:15. And then we got the Consigs picks. We got Rob Pizzola, who is a professional gambler, who's going to be joining us, giving some picks. And then 6 p.m., we got Jerry DePaula and John Fedko joining us to close everything out. So, and that's going to be the show on Monday, the pregame
Sounds
show.
Solid, actually, man. That's a good deal, Billy.
Yeah, no postgame show because it's going to be kind of late, and we're not going to be doing any postgame show this week. So tune in for that, Steel City Sunday, and we'll be back next week, folks. And I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about, gentlemen. Right?
Yep,
absolutely.
So see you later.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week.
No Steelers.